SD Bullion. This is Tyler, known as Bull Run on SilverDoctors.com, and I'm very pleased to have Keith Neumeyer, CEO of First Majestic Silver Corp, on the line with me now. First Majestic trades on the NYSE under ticker symbol AG and on the TSX under ticker symbol FR. Keith, thank you for being here today.
Oh, well, thanks for the opportunity.
First Majestic is a mid-tier silver miner with 3 mines currently in production. They are one of the fastest growing and purest silver producers in the world. Last year, First Majestic produced over 7.6 million equivalent ounces of silver, or 7.2 real ounces of silver. In addition, they have a new exciting silver mine, Del Toro, about to enter production. Keith, if you could just give us an update on your current mining operations and the Del Toro mine?
Yeah, sure. The La Pria just underwent a major expansion in 2011, which is adding to our production for 2012. We spent $40 million at La Pria to expand it from 850 tons a day to 2,000 tons a day, and it's now running at around, I think, 1,800 tons right now. It'll reach full capacity in the next couple of weeks. We're expecting a record first quarter and a record year, obviously, as a result of that expansion. La Pria produced around 1.8 million ounces, close to 2 million ounces last year. It'll produce around 3 million ounces this year, plus lead and zinc on top of that. So it's very exciting to be able to expand that operation. Once again, it's the 5th expansion that we've undertaken at La Pria over the last 7 years. Del Toro, as you mentioned, is our 4th mine, which will be coming on stream towards the end of 2012. We're not attributing a whole bunch of production from Del Toro in 2012 just because it'll be only running it a couple of months towards the end of this year, and it'll only be running at about 500 tons a day initially, but it'll be expanded up to 4,000 tons a day over a 2-year period. So by the end of 2013, early 2014, we expect it to be running at approximately 4,000 tons a day. Those kinds of levels, it'll be our largest silver producer. It'll be producing around 6 million ounces of silver annually, plus lead and zinc on top of that.
All right, I believe in your most recent Q4 production results, you reported an 8% increase in silver equivalent ounces compared to 2010. Do you see your company making any acquisitions outside of the Del Toro mine, or are you more focused on expanding that mine and locating additional reserves?
Well, acquisitions are, something that, we're always looking at. It's how we've built the company to date. We've already bought 2 other public companies. The other assets we have been bought from local businesses in Mexico. So I think we've proven that we're very aggressive. But I can't really say too much on that front because, it's just simply can't comment any further on that because you never know with these kinds of things whether they're going to happen or not. But we're always looking, and I think we're always, active, in that regard. But Del Toro is definitely our focus. It's our biggest capital expenditure program in the company's history. It's our largest, and will become our largest mine. So we're really focusing on Del Toro right now.
I believe in an interview conducted in early 2011, you mentioned the possibility for a dividend in Q1 of 2012. Where does First Majestic currently stand on a shareholder dividend?
Yeah, we did a bit of a poll of our shareholders back in the September-October timeframe of last year, just to kind of get the feel of what our shareholders are really wanting us to do in the case of dividends. And we got a resounding no to dividends, and it was quite interesting because it was a little bit of a surprise actually to me. I would have expected that shareholders would have wanted a dividend, but we've done a very good job bringing value to shareholders, and shareholders as a whole just want us continually to invest money in the business. That's what we're doing.
Some silver miners have considered the idea of rewarding shareholders with a dividend in the form of, say, physical silver. It would appear from your direct bullion sales establishment which we'll discuss a little later, that First Majestic would be one of the best miners positioned to deliver on a unique dividend policy such as this. Would this be something you would consider possibly in the future if you did go to a dividend sort of thing?
No, we wouldn't. It'd be. I don't even know if the regulators would approve it. I know there's people, chatting about mining companies paying dividends in the form of metal, but I just don't know how logistically you would do it. It'd be an absolute nightmare to manage, and it would be extremely costly to manage as well. And it just simply wouldn't be worth the effort, even if the regulators allowed us to do it, which I have my doubts whether they would. I think it's better for when we do end up paying a dividend, whenever that time it does occur. I think it's much better for the individuals receiving the dividend just go and buy silver with the money that they get.
Yeah, that makes sense. For those who follow us on SilverDoctors.com, we expect much higher silver prices before 2012 is through. As a respected CEO of one of the top silver mining companies, do you share in this opinion, and what do you anticipate silver prices to do within the next couple of years?
I'm a triple-digit silver guy, so I think that we're going back to a ratio silver to gold, be in the 20 range, and it'll probably overshoot that. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a 10-to-1 ratio on a spike and then level out in the 20 to 1 ratio range. Which puts silver at obviously a much higher price where it is today. I'm very excited about the future of the metal, but it is extremely difficult to trade the metal because it's extremely volatile.
That's good to hear on your predictions. Silver demand in 2011 was a good year for silver. If we just look at the U.S. Mint alone, sales of Silver Eagles totaled close to 40 million ounces, the most ever recorded by the U.S. Mint. Eric Sprott gave a presentation which became known as the Call to Miners. He was trying to convince some silver miners to store their silver rather than holding dollars on their balance sheet. Later on in the interview, he also mentioned interest in purchasing silver directly from miners to meet the demands of the PSLV. Now, we had an interview with Sprott earlier this week, and he actually said First Majestic was relatively open in participating and capitalizing on the bull market for silver. I believe he said purchasing 10 million of his issuance. Should we expect First Majestic to continually take the lead position in diversifying from dollar assets on their balance sheet?
Well, there's a limit to what we can do. Institutions that own it, want to see cash on the balance sheet. It's what they're used to seeing. They want to see earnings on a per share basis, which means you have to sell your silver to create earnings and to create cash. That's generally what institutions want to see, and we understand the retail investor out there also wants to see certain things as well. So we try to do the best we can to satisfy both groups of investors because they are motivated differently. And I also have personal beliefs of the price of the metal, so I'm comfortable investing part of our revenue or part of our earnings into the metal. We do that through paper transactions on the COMEX. We currently do have a long position on the COMEX right now, and also in the PSLV. We did invest $10 million into the PSLV, which is Sprott's ETF. We're the only mining company that actually invested in that fund, and quite surprisingly to me, I communicated with I think 5 other silver mining companies, CEOs, over a period of a week prior to that offering being launched by Sprott, and I told them that First Majestic was going to participate in the offering, and I asked them to participate as well. Not one of them did, to my surprise, and we were happy to do it, but it was a little bit surprising that the other companies did not participate.
Yes, I agree. In my opinion, one of the most unique features which separates First Majestic from most other silver miners, in addition to you guys' willingness to participate in the PSLV offering, the fact that you guys offer your own minted silver rounds for sale on your website. Is this strictly a marketing adventure for First Majestic, or can you foresee First Majestic trying to take the program to a larger scale and focus on profitability of a direct bullion sales operation?
It's not really our business to do that. We are a mining company, and it is a little bit of a stretch You know, we don't make a lot of money doing it. There's quite a lot of extra costs involved in managing that business. It's managed here out of Vancouver, and we have full-time staff that all they do is manage the silver sales off of our website. You know, it is a marginally profitable business, but it's only profitable because of the premium that we charge to the buyers, and we're happy to do it. And, you know, we're happy to have our logo on silver that people are storing in their safes or at home or whatever they're doing with it, and it is great marketing for us. It is our own silver, which also makes it quite unique. You know, the silver comes from Mexico and into the refinery in the United States, and it goes to the mint, and then it gets shipped out to buyers around the world. So, but you know, to go higher than the current sales would just be a bit of a challenge, and I don't expect that we would do that.
Okay, Keith, I'd like to thank you for your time and willingness to come on for an interview. I'd also like to inform listeners that First Majestic was kind enough to send us 7 First Majestic 1/2 ounce coins to be distributed on SilverDoctors.com. We'll be holding daily contests, so just log on to SilverDoctors.com for details. Keith, thank you again for the opportunity. I hope we can talk again in the future.
Yeah, absolutely, and hope your listeners like those coins.